Today I'm going to show you guys how I transformed my Toyota RAV4 into a cozy car camping setup. It's a poor girl's RV. How I built my DIY bed platform. I decided to film the whole process of building it because I knew it would make this season's road trips a lot easier when I'm not using a tent. So this is what I came up with. What I wanted was a flat, comfortable sleeping surface to lay on and to have some storage underneath. This and the measurements I use in this video are for my 2020 Toyota RAV4, but it's a really easy design, so these adjustments could be easily adjusted to whatever vehicle space you're working with. All total in materials spent to build this platform was $234.96. That's lumber, pipes for the legs, the carpeting to wrap it up and make it a little more comfy, and a couple sets of screws. Also, another tip, I think I could have cut time on the build and expense if I had, instead of going with 3/4 inch pipe for the legs, had I gone with 3/4 inch wood poles and just cut those as the legs instead. I think it would have cut easier, it would have been cheaper to go with, but I ended up going with these instead. And the build itself took me, and with the help of my dad, because he's the one with all of the tools, about 4.5 hours. And this was a totally DIY process. We are not carpenters or builders at all, so it's an easy enough design that I really think anybody could accomplish it if they have a few tools and are willing to put in a few hours of work. So what I was going for with this design was 3 pieces so that the back platform could actually stay in the car and I could fold my seats back up when I'm not using it, and then I can just organize groceries or whatever I need to have back there at the time. And I wanted it to be light enough so that I could pull it in and out and maneuver it and set it up by myself. All right, step 1, get supplies. So hot tip, when you come to Home Depot, if your car's not big enough or you don't have a table saw to rip these boards down to the measurement you need, you just bring them your measurements, pick your 3/4 inch plywood, and they will cut them to size for you. So let's get that done. Okay, so here's the setup. So Home Depot cut my 3/4 inch plywood down for me, and it came out to where I actually have several pieces extra. So the plan I have for this is going to be the platform that'll sit in my trunk so that I can still fold the seats up and it can just stay where it's at. And then these 2 pieces are going to slide in separate when the seats are laid down. So as you can see, when I lay the seats down in my Toyota RAV4, this is not flat, and so my current method has been to put an air mattress or my Paco pad in here, and then I stuff a bunch of seat stuff under the bottom to try and level myself. It's been very awkward and very precarious and messy, so I'm hoping with a platform that should sit pretty much level through here, it's going to give me storage underneath, which is going to give me more room for sleeping comfortably, and it's going to be able to transfer easier because those front pieces are going to be able to slide right out and I can put the seats up as needed. So let's get this going. The first thing I'm going to do is wrap the platform in carpeting. So first things first is I am measuring out my indoor-outdoor carpet to wrap my platform with. So we're gonna leave about 4-inch gap on either edge to give us room to wrap it up. So now that we got our platforms wrapped in the carpeting, we're gonna take our bracer board and we're going to add in bracing, and this is also where I'm going to mount the legs onto it.
You're doing a good job, buddy. You're doing a very good job. Thank you.
Easy guarding.
You're doing a great job.
So funny story, I bought too short of screws. I bought 1.25 inches. So thanks to Dad and all his wonderful help. Thanks, Dad. We're gonna use 1 5/8 inch screws to sink in these bracers. Now that I have my bracers on this main trunk hatch, these bracers are actually going to be a little different because I want this smaller side to be able to slide in and out without removing the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bracer actually about this long so that it can, when I set this smaller end in, it has extra support. So I'm going to cut these to about the end of both, which will be about 40 inches again. And then I'm going to put another bracer right here, which I'll cut down, which will also slide under this larger side, so to give it yet another bracing point. So let's get those cuts made and then we'll install these.
Because you're load bearing on this and your support is this, you want more support on this end.
Okay.
So instead of making it center,
yeah,
you actually hold it back to where
it's just a lip.
Basically, yeah, that's all you need.
Okay.
You want this is where you're screwing to, and this is taking the load of this.
Okay.
So you want all your strength here.
Okay.
So when we're talking about location of the legs, when we started looking at it, we wanted to be sure that our legs end up on a solid. Some of the spots can be softer, but if you feel around, you can feel it's solid brace. It gets a little soft and then you get a solid brace. So this is gonna be where one leg goes and this is where another leg goes, so that we know that we're on solid and we're not on just thin plastic that could crack under pressure.
Perfect. So here's what we're at. We know that this back platform, we're going to cut the pipes for the legs up 12 inches. So once we put these mounts on, it will sit just above 12 inches. And I measured that so that it didn't interfere with any of the shape of my car or the seat latch. So it'll sit just right about here and it doesn't interfere with the light or the plug. So it'll be really convenient. And then the legs for these front pieces, we're going to measure based on the brace point of this most solid brace point and the floor, and have it as level as possible when it all comes together. So for the legs, I bought these mounts with the Allen head set screws so that when I screw them in, they'll be really easy to slide in and out. And so we're going to point the Allen head towards the outside, so when I'm at the back of the car, I can loosen these ones, and then I can go in through the side door and loosen those ones if I need to take this back hatch out. So the screws we're using to attach these feet are these hex head 1.5 inch and 5/8 screws, and you want to make sure they are sturdy enough because this is pretty heavy steel, and so you want it to sink. And those Phillips head screws I got for the wood would not hold this, so it's gonna go in like this. And I also got these little 3/4 inch rubber feet for the bottom of our legs.
Very light.
Yeah.
You can handle this on your own, right?
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be awesome. You made it with 2 legs.
Yep.
All right, so that is how I built my DIY car camping platform. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a design that you can easily adjust to pretty much any vehicle if you have the space for car camping. And so make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video I'm going to show you all of the extras and things I bring for a really comfortable car camping setup. And I will see you on the next wandering. There we go.
Quiet on the set, we're recording.
Thanks, Dad.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
I'm keeping that in the video, just so you know.